Once hailed as the future of golf, the New Zealand prodigy who skyrocketed to the world #1 spot at an unprecedented young age has seen her journey take an unexpected turn. Fans and experts alike once predicted a career full of major victories and record-breaking performances for this young star. However, the elevation came to an abrupt halt, leaving the golf world perplexed with the question, what the heck happened to Lydia Ko? Where is the undisputed golf prodigy who once dominated the greens? To understand the magnitude of Lydia Ko's fall, we have to start with the extraordinary heights of her meteoric rise. Born in Seoul, South Korea, Ko and her family moved to New Zealand when she was just 4 years old. It was then that she found her love for golf, which would become much more than just a hobby. As she grew, Ko continued to amaze everyone with her dedication and skill. By the age of 7, she was already competing in New Zealand National Amateur Championships, and her name began appearing in sports headlines. Her smooth and athletic swing was a delight to watch, and many experts predicted a career full of greatness for the young New Zealander. And they weren't wrong. In 2012, at just 14 years old, Lydia Ko carved her name into the history books. She shattered the record set by Japanese prodigy Ryo Ishikawa, becoming the youngest person ever to win a professional golf tour event. But this was only the beginning of her incredible rise. Just a few months later, Ko made headlines again. At the age of 15 years and 4 months, she triumphed at the CN Canadian Women's Open, not only setting a new standard as the youngest winner on the LPGA Tour, but also joining an elite group. She became only the 5th amateur, and the first in over 4 decades, to win an LPGA Tour event. As her reputation grew, Ko made the bold decision to turn professional at the tender age of 16. Recognizing her extraordinary talent, the LPGA Tour bent its own rules, waiving the typical age requirement of 18 to welcome her into its ranks. This move demonstrated the confidence the golf world had in Ko's exceptional talent, and she did not disappoint. In 2014, Ko burst onto the professional scene, winning 3 LPGA Tour tournaments, including the CME Group Tour Championship. Her remarkable performances earned her the title of LPGA Rookie of the Year, a well-deserved honor for a player who was just beginning to scratch the surface of her potential. But it was in 2015 that Lydia Ko truly became a superstar. The media reported her rise to the top of golf as one of the greatest feats in sports history. At 17, Ko not only established herself as the #1 player in women's golf, but she also became the youngest player to reach that rank in professional golf for both men and women, breaking the record set by Tiger Woods in 1997 at the age of 21. Then, in a display of absolute dominance, she won 5 tournaments that season, including the Evian Championship, where she set the record for the lowest final round in a women's major with an impressive 63. Her ability to stay calm under pressure and her impeccable technique made her a force to be reckoned with in women's golf. Ko seemed unstoppable, accumulating achievements at a dizzying pace. She became the youngest player to win 10 events on a major tour and was named the LPGA Player of the Year in 2015, at just 18 years old. Lydia Ko seemed unstoppable. She had the world at her fingertips, and all signs pointed to a career destined for greatness. She was the prodigy, set to redefine the sport. But then, as the 2017 season unfolded, it was as if a thunderclap silenced the applause. Suddenly, her string of victories dried up, her dominance in the world rankings crumbled, and the once clear path to greatness became shrouded in uncertainty. Fans and analysts alike watched in stunned disbelief, wondering what had caused such an unexpected turn of events for the young New Zealander. So, what lies behind this dramatic fall from grace? We'll peel back the layers to reveal a complex web of shocking issues. But before we're getting into the hidden truth, I want to extend a huge thank you to OddsJam for sponsoring today's video. Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet OddsJam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260-plus sportsbooks, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code ESN for 35% off your first month. Bet smart, bet responsibly with OddsJam. The first spotlight falls directly on her parents and their significant influence over her, as they were reportedly exercising excessive control over her career. It's said that they maintained a strict regimen, with overwhelming expectations and little room for personal growth. And unfortunately, this isn't just hearsay from us as mere spectators. In 2013, Coe's team hired the both loved and hated coach, David Ledbetter, who also publicly complained about the overwhelming pressure her parents exerted on this poor girl. Listen to this. According to Ledbetter, Lydia's parents exercised total control over every aspect of her life and career. We're talking about dictating every detail, from her daily routine to her clothing to even her practice focus. Can you imagine how stifling that must be for a young athlete? Just think for a moment about not being able to make a single decision for yourself. Your parents decide when you go to bed, what you eat, how you dress, and even what you practice on the golf course. It's like living in a bubble of impossible expectations and strict rules. And the worst part is that, according to Ledbetter, Lydia's parents expected her to win every tournament she entered. Can you believe that enormous pressure on the shoulders of a young girl? It's almost as if they turned her into a winning machine instead of allowing her to enjoy the game for its own sake. Unfortunately, Ledbetter suggests that this excessive parental influence has been detrimental to Lydia's development, both as a golfer and as a person. She has struggled to find her own identity and voice amid so many expectations and so much control. But along the way, what we have visibly seen is her light dimming more and more. But David, you're not entirely off the hook in this situation. Couldn't you also be somewhat responsible for this downfall, even just a little? Many fans have theorized that Coe became the latest victim of Ledbetter's lead poisoning, referring to his track record of ruining the smooth, athletic swings of promising players. I must say, the phrase itself is quite clever. Ledbetter had previously worked with Michelle Wie, the golf star who tasted the sweetness of the top before suffering a fall into the abyss, straight into the grave. Sound familiar? Could it be that Ledbetter tried to change Coe's natural swing too much, wreaking havoc on her game? This coach is known for his technical approach and his desire to mold players' swings into his own image of the A-swing. According to some critics, this approach has led to the destruction of the natural swings of talented golfers like Michelle Wie, who still hasn't managed to regain her swing after years of working with Ledbetter and then with Butch Harmon. In Coe's case, her smooth and fluid swing was like poetry in motion. But under Ledbetter's guidance, that athletic swing, which captivated so many fans, supposedly became compromised in the name of technique and perfection. While it's hard to know for sure the real impact Ledbetter had on Coe's swing, it's undeniable that her game hasn't been the same since she started working with him in 2013. And even though Coe eventually parted ways with Ledbetter after the 2016 season, the damage was already done. But beyond external influences, we also have to consider the mental factor. The pressure to maintain such a high level of excellence from such a young age can be overwhelming for any athlete. Coe has openly admitted to putting too much pressure on herself, striving for perfection and keeping high expectations. At a time when she should be enjoying golf and letting her natural talent flow, Coe found herself trapped in a cycle of self-criticism and disappointment. Even the best players experience ups and downs, but for a young woman who has been labeled as a golf phenomenon, it can be hard to accept anything less than excellence. And it's precisely that self-imposed pressure that seems to have weighed most heavily on Coe's mind. In a post-round interview after a disappointing round, she spoke candidly about her ups and downs, and her struggle to maintain momentum after a year of unprecedented success. You know, you do want to continue to be on a good momentum and play well when you are playing well, because I've gone through my own ups and downs, and when things aren't going well, it's not very easy to come back out of that, Coe admitted. It's sad to hear her say that. Those words show how she's feeling vulnerable and honest about her golf journey. But they also reveal she's not happy with her game, disappointed she couldn't keep up the level of excellence she once had so easily. And that disappointment makes people wonder if Lydia Ko will ever reach her full potential. Her fall from the top has been as big as her early success. Even when she wins, like at the CME Group Tour Championship in 2022, Ko doesn't seem content. After winning Player of the Year and the Vare Trophy, you'd expect her to be thrilled. But Ko said the season had been frustrating and disappointing for her, not giving her the results she wanted. These words paint a sad picture of an athlete who, despite her successes, isn't happy with herself or her game. Because at the end of the day, real success in sports isn't just about trophies and records. It's also about personal satisfaction and enjoying the journey. If Lydia Ko can find that perspective, if she can make peace with her own expectations and accept herself as the talented but imperfect player she is, then maybe she can turn a new page in her story. One that isn't defined by records or titles, but by the pure joy of playing the game she loves. Sure, she's not the only athlete with a career full of ups and downs, but questions about her future still linger. Will she be able to reach the same heights she once did so effortlessly? Or will she be held back by the expectations and pressures that come with being a sports phenomenon? Well, only time will tell.